It's always nice to see a receptive crowd. I know several of you have traveled from many different places. Just to get an idea, where are you guys from? Rome, probably several of us from the Rome area. Let's just take Italy in general. Who's from Italy? Great. Do we have people from, let's say, Germany, Austria, in that area? Anyone from up there? A little bit... most of us are, yeah? Germany, we have a German up here as well, great. As you can tell, I'm not Italian. I've lived here for many, many years, but now have the privilege of being in Dublin. So, Michael Berthaud, and I want to take the occasion to thank you for having us here. On your program, you'll see that there are two different names, not the names who were presented just a moment ago. We're having minus 12 degrees in Dublin right now, and an enormous snowfall. So our colleagues weren't able to fly out yesterday afternoon. We also want to mention one other guy to you, and a key member of our team as well, Marco Grossi. Marco, would you just raise your hand there? So Marco's also with us on the team. And as we said, we have Davide Barbieri and Paolo. So it's a great opportunity for us to be here. Thank you for joining us as well. And I'm going to turn the microphone now over to Davide.
Right. Good morning, everyone. As Michael said, my name is Davide Barbieri. I'm a media and entertainment specialist for Google AdWords and YouTube. So, as you can see, we are talking about marketing for this session. So, let's have a look quickly to the agenda. As you've seen, it's extremely simple and straightforward. So, during this session, we are mostly looking at, first of all, the way the gaming landscape is changing. And as the previous speaker said, and it's fundamental to be exactly on that change. So to our online marketing perspective, to adapt the strategy according to this change. So and next we are going to see how you can leverage the online marketing to take advantage from this. And finally, maybe the most entertaining part of the presentation, we're going to take a look in detail into one of the most engaging media around in the web, that's YouTube. So as we said, and the previous speaker said, especially Phil before, the gaming landscape has changed in the last years, and it keeps on changing. So marketing, that's what we are talking about, has changed as well. So we got the transition from 2.0 or Web 3.0, as you know, Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. But don't let that distract you, because everything starts with a consumer. That's the center of everything, of course. And then, of course, you need a great planning approach. And this goes much beyond the launch of a product itself. You need to plan for success of the game hopefully you're going to develop. And this is, of course, true for all business, but video gaming that we're talking about today in particular. So it's very important that you understand that there's much more to successful video game than just a great product and a launch. Having a quality product is a great starting point, of course, but it's precisely that, a starting point. And to cultivate this success that of course, we wish you, we are seeing a lot of success stories that are talking about this in advertisers, for example. You need not only to develop, of course, a business plan, monetization model, it goes without saying. But you also need to think through the evolution of the product itself down the road, and how the marketing strategy will have to adapt to this specific evolution. So we got a few data from the 2010 research of the Interactive Software Federation in Europe, and that shows how more than 95 million adults are playing in Europe nowadays. That's pretty impressive. with an overall around 8 billion euro market value. Research also shows how the demographics of gamers has been evolving in the last years. For example, the definition of gamer itself that is used in this research has widened, since now it includes occasional gamers, casual gamers, as was said before. This is due to the development of the free mobile games, for example, and social games, for example. And this represents a sort of quiet revolution in video gaming consumers. As we said, there are more casual gamers playing. They have become involved in playing, and more than 50% of gamers are playing on handheld mobile devices. That's very interesting. And across the major European countries, around 25% of all adults are playing video games. And of course, gaming is still most popular among people aged, let's say, 16 to 29. But we've seen almost 30% nowadays of people aged 30, 49 play video games. So more than ever before. There are still people that don't play games, as you well know, maybe some people among you. Of those people that don't play games, this research says that 41% of people claim that the main reason is lack of time. But this type of reason, other reasons given for not playing video games, have to be attributed in a way to a sort of misunderstanding of what kind of games are available these days. So it's a sort of misperception, and this is a reality. And marketing, we're going to talk about today, is a key factor to changing that specific misperception. Of course, games are now played literally everywhere and by everyone. And by everywhere, I mean represented in terms of mobility. We said before, 50% of people are playing on handheld mobile devices. Everyone, because in terms of varying demographics, nowadays we can certainly say that exist games for every place, person, agenda, and budget. So there is a type of game available for everyone. What's then the challenges? The industries over the last years, the gaming industry has risen to the challenge of broadening the marketing offer. That means bringing more people in, bringing more people to play. And this happened both in terms of hardware and software. As we all know, we have great examples. What's the next challenge we are seeing? It's the challenge of communicating this more efficiently to specific target groups. We'll see this in a few moments in detail, but you need to understand the different ways users are going to engage with your game and build around this context. So you will be able to delight them with the experience you want. And this goes through marketing and communication, of course. So great communication efforts. For example, you need to plan for and create buzz around the game, and to find a unique way to generate interest in it, in a word, to engage your users through your communications. That's extremely important. So we are all very familiar with great success stories like new consoles and games such as you can see, the Wii Fit, Guitar Hero, Nintendo DS, Brain Training. These examples, these types of products, were able to attract new people previously not interested in gaming. And this demonstrates the possibilities for expanding participation of people further. As we said, the word gamer itself changed in the last years. It has broadened. And this translates into a great need for a well-planned online marketing strategy to take advantage of this. It's an opportunity. You could draw people's attention and bring them into your game, hopefully in the future, into the gaming universe itself. So beyond hardware and software, as we said, breakthroughs, like these examples that we have seen developed, these types of tools can be played by any demographics, right? But the great breakthrough is that the way these technologies were communicated, as you can see by these commercials, especially the one on the right of Nintendo DS, Nintendo was communicating to a very specific target in this case. So it's a matter, of course, of broadening the audience, but it's also a matter of communicating this effectively. So I now pass the ball over to Paolo, who's going to give you more details concerning the online marketing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Davide. So, yeah, let's look at the online marketing mix now. When we have to set our online marketing mix, we first have to look, obviously, at our online marketing strategy. As Phil Harrison was saying before, when we develop a product, we don't have to, a game, in this case, we don't have to think only about the product itself, but also about the business we are in it, and we are developing with the product, with the video game. So, just a quick question by raise of hand. How many here in the audience of you either work in a video gaming company or would like to develop a video game that's going to be the next blockbuster, making lots of money, lots of users, be famous worldwide? Who would like that in the audience? Please raise your hand, don't be shy. Come on, help me out with this. All right, a few of them. So I'm just probably going to be in line with them and show a little hints and tips that we have discovered by basically working in the video gaming and in the entertainment industry. So the key factor here is extremely important to start thinking about the online marketing strategy when you're creating the business model. This is why. Why? Because the online marketing plan should go in hand with the monetization strategy that you choose for your product, for your video game. It could be either purchase, it could be purchase of virtual goods, it could be advertising. We have many advertising solutions, etc., and therefore monetization. But the key factor here is that when you develop a product, you have to find the right audience for that product. And that audience, it's not just the person that's going to like the product most, but it's also the person that will allow you to make money out of the video game that you're developing, and it's going to sustain your monetization strategy. With that in mind, you then are going to develop your marketing strategy, and you are going to acquire a target user that have a very specific characteristic. The average revenue per user is going to be sustainable for your business. Basically, every single user, every single purchaser of my product that I'm going to acquire is going to give me enough revenue that is going to make my business run, basically. So this comes very all together with the marketing strategies, because with the marketing strategy that I'm going to set, I'm going to have a cost per acquisition. How much is going to cost me to acquire the next user? How much, the money is going to spend to have another player, another download, another purchase, etc. This is set, obviously, by the average revenue per user. The difference between the revenue this new player is going to bring me and the cost that I have spent to acquire it is going to make the difference, and it's going to make my my business run. And if you multiply, basically, the cost per acquisition of the user and how many users I need to have to reach break-even, basically to have my business, my community work, etc., I'm going to already have in mind what's the marketing budget that I'm going to have to set, because I know how much it's going to cost me the people and how much people I'm going to need. And then you can go above and beyond and be the next blockbuster, but still you have to go to the break-even point to make the basis out of there.